B-17 Flying Fortress formed the backbone of the bombing campaigns during World War II.
B-17 was a 4-engine heavy bomber. At that time, it was one of the largest, and it was very efficient, very strong, and could take a lot of flak anti-aircraft before it was shot down. 10 men on the crew, pilot, co-pilot, bombardier, navigator, 2 waist gunners, tail gunner, ball turret gunner, which is hang the ball underneath with guns in, and a top turret gunner.
Early in the war, the number of missions flown by the crews were not limited.
I get a bit emotional about this, but that's, you know, it's reliving a very difficult time. Then we flew various missions for a number of times. And when I first started, there was no limit to the number of tours, number of missions you made on a tour. It was just fly till you die, or you were shot down, or whatever happened.
By 1943, mission requirements were set at 25.
Takeoff, we form in squadron, about 6 planes. A group formation, which would be 18 to 24 planes. And I recall one particular mission where I could look to the left and see 500 bombers, and look to the right and see 500.
Although destroying German war production was priority 1, there were other targets.
The bombs were dropped in formation so that they did the most good. Most generally, we had a particular target to hit. A factory or a refinery, railroad yards, but sometimes our target was just the center of the city.
Anti-aircraft fire and fighter attacks were fierce and unrelenting.
It was just unbearable amounts of flak. I don't see how they did it. Because me personally, a fighter attacked, I could shoot back. And that relieved a lot of the tension, you know, made the adrenaline flow like the dickens, but you know, you could fight back. In flak, the moment that I got in flak, about 30 seconds later, I was wet with perspiration.
Crippled bombers were left to the mercy of the German fighters.
As soon as we dropped out of formation, then we're easy prey for the German fighters. And the FW-190s came in on us. We had a running battle for about an hour.
Every time a fortress went down, 10 crewmen were lost. 28,000 never came home.
Probably the most emotional times are those when you see people you had breakfast with in the morning get shot down. And that was the most gut-wrenching feeling that you can possibly have, you know, because you knew you were going to go back at night. They wouldn't be there.
The lucky ones were thankful.
Down toward the end, when you're getting close to the end of your missions, then it gets to be very iffy again, and you're very concerned about, will I finish up? Because, you know, you put in all those dangerous flights, and at the very end you said, my golly, will I ever get through with this? Will I live through it? And finally comes the day when you do, and I know in my case, when I got back from that last mission, I kissed the ground.